welcome to all of you. Oh, excuse me on that one. And just, I had a few good ones just before I left so that I can go on this walk with all of you. Probably going to be a Riverside ramble. I'm hoping to make it down to the river. You can't tell, but it is snowing. Very, very lightly snowing. 0 degrees. And it is hovering the 0 mark all day. I don't think it'll get above. I don't think it'll get below. It's going to stay this temperature. And I needed my walk. I've got a boy sick at home. He's not too terribly sick, but he's been on the verge of a cold with a little cough for weeks on end, and every once in a while it gets worse and then it gets better. And today he had a school field trip that the whole day was outside in this, the whole day at a park. So, you know, sometimes you gotta weigh the good with the bad, and there you have the facts of life. Sorry. So I'll be back with you guys as I get closer to the river. I do hope to make it all the way to the river and talk to you down there. The snow's just starting to drip a little heavier. I don't know what it's going to be like by the time I get there. My hands are already freezing, so I'm going to get them in my pocket and talk to you soon. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. When I think of something to share, sometimes I just gotta share it. You know, I had forgotten. How do I put it? I often, just like fibromyalgia is cyclical, so is my thinking patterns in remembering the different things that I require for my daily living. And I had forgotten how important this alone time can be. How, and yeah, it's my walks. I haven't been on a walk this week, and I don't think I went on one last week because I've just been so busy. I am now the daycare for my young son, my 8-year-old. So I'm off to see him every morning for a little bit, and then every afternoon for a couple hours, and it's been every weekend for a while that I've been busy. I just really haven't had time. And what I forget is, I always think, well, I'm getting the exercise, so I'm doing okay. Let me move just a bit further away from the construction there. I'm getting the exercise anyway, so I'm doing okay. And then, but just now I realized what I miss out on is that alone time with my thoughts. I've always, since a young boy, I've gone on alone walks where I talk to myself, where I put my thoughts into a more predictable pattern where I can deal with each anxious thought and they stop becoming anxious. My alone time has very, very often helped me incredibly get over my anxiety. And I don't have alone time anymore because of my new digs. I live with my 31, almost 32-year-old son, and my 8-year-old son visits a lot because I'm also his daycare. And I spend every second weekend with him, sometimes more. So there's always someone at home. There always was before, but before I had a huge home. I could go in the basement and nobody's around me and I have the time to myself. I could do anything I wanted, you know? But now I don't have that privacy, that ability to just sit there and talk to yourself. You know, I get a few looks. I'm getting them right now from a couple of pretty ladies seeing me talking to my camera. So, so that's what happens. So even sitting at home, sometimes my thoughts just, there isn't enough time nor enough CBD to keep my mind straight on one thing. I go all over the place. I get out here and I talk it out. And I get better. I'm already a little bit, but now it's time for me, and I'll get back to you when I'm by the river. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Here we are. I made it to the river. It's cold. It's bitter. I'd forgotten how invigorating a cold walk can be. So we'll keep trudging along. I'll be back. I did make it. Here I am on this wonderful pedestrian bridge. I love this bridge. It goes across the river, across both parts. Halfway across is St. Patrick's Island, which leads down to the zoo. So I'm almost down at the river for a little talk. Peace and cheers. Love and harmony. Often I try to either have a subject matter when I get down by the river, and welcome all, here we are. That's my spot, that's where I usually sit, but it's cold, I'm not going to sit. But I usually have a story or a subject to talk about. So I thought I'd share with you the first time I had really good pot. And it was a very private thing, kind of like right now, you know, and that's why it spun in my memory. When I was 15, yeah, because by 16 my best friend James, who this was with, passed away. But at 15, he was my blood brother, my best friend, my everything. We had known each other since 11 and just really were best of friends. And we had our first tokes together. Yes, at 11. We got in a lot of trouble. We had a lot of fun. And one time he had a cousin or somebody coming up from Vancouver. And that person brought with them some Acapulco Gold and gave him 3 small joints of it. And when we're talking small joints, it's nothing like the roll-ups you see nowadays with the extra wide papers. We're talking thin, but it was pure Acapulco Gold. Back then, I have no idea what its THC content was, but it was probably 3-4 times anything we had smoked. And so him and I decided that we had to do something special. So we planned a weekend. Just an overnighter though. Friday night at Gallagher's Canyon. Gallagher's Canyon, a place just outside of Kelowna, where there's plenty of places to pitch a tent, have a campfire, and stay away from people, yet the town's not far away. Kind of the only place we felt safe back in the 70s to smoke. And we got there and we got under the moon and the stars and we smoked that first J. And we transcended, I know we had some beer too, but we transcended into a new experience that night. It was the deepest our thoughts ever got, thinking about everything. It was just absolutely incredible. And it was then that I realized, you know, I don't think there'll ever be a time in my life that this stuff is not a part of it, because what it does to fix things up here is incredible. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Join me by the river again soon, I hope. Peace. It's a long one, isn't it? Sorry, folks. I hope you don't mind. I'm hoping you actually prefer that it's a longer one than usual. I thought I'd wrap up the Riverside Ramble. Wrap up the Riverside Ramble, and is a good thing because it's cold. My hands are cold, my toes are cold, But you know what? That broken foot, both feet feel the same sort of sore. And I think that's normal because I hardly walked for 3 months. And it is just a few days away from 3 full months since it broke. So I think I'm doing good. I'm limping a little bit. I just can't take full long strides. I don't limp at all if I walk really slow and short. Short, I know, I am. So let's end this Riverside Rambles. We're gonna have a good weekend. I know I'm gonna have a couple of things for you tomorrow, a couple of reviews, and hippie news on Sunday. So I've got a busy weekend coming up, but you're worth it. Peace and cheers, friends. See you on the flip. Yeah, one more. I had to share. The snow has finally gotten heavy. It's getting big, and it's really, really freaking beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous here under the B. 28. Just absolutely gorgeous out here. I love the snow when it's 0. I don't mind it at all. It's not even going to stay on the ground. And tomorrow I think is 10 degrees, and that just hit my eyeball. So this is the final goodbye. Goodbye.